Well, as voters get ready to go to the polls tomorrow, a new CBS 2 News investigation found dead people have also voted.
Indeed, or at least votes were cast in their names during the June primary. CBS 2 investigative reporter David Goldstein's here with that. Dave.
Yeah, Pat and Paul, this is our second investigation into this. In May, we uncovered more than 250 names of dead people whose state records show voted in Southern California over the past 8 years. Now we find more, and loved ones are concerned.
Well, honestly, I think she's rolling over in her grave right now. Yeah.
Kim Holmes is talking about her grandmother, Marge Balicki. She died 15 years ago. This gravestone marks the spot where she's buried at a Burbank cemetery. But we uncovered state records showing a vote cast in Balicki's name in the June California primary.
That's crazy to me. I don't understand that, and I'd like to know who's behind it and how that happened.
And she's not the only one. We compared millions of voting records from the California Secretary of State's office with death records from the Social Security Administration. Last May, we found 265 dead voters in Southern California over the past 8 years. A vast majority of them, 215, in LA County alone. Now we looked at the June primary and found even more. 11 additional dead voters in LA County voted in the primary, and 1 in San Bernardino, bringing the total now to 277 in Southern California. The numbers come from state records that show votes were cast in that person's name after they died. People like Gladys Anderson. She lived in this house in South LA and would be 106 years old today if she were alive. Social Security records show she died in 1997. But state records we found show she voted in the primary. And the LA County Registrar's website says she's still active, still registered to vote.
She lived right here in this apartment.
Her former landlord, Mark Banks, can't understand it.
What do you think about that?
I have no idea what to think about that one. I mean, wow. That's a mind blower.
We also found Ruth Bowman's name in state records that show she voted in the June primary. But Social Security records show she died in 1998, 18 years ago. And yes, the registrar's office says she's still registered to vote. Her former neighbor has a theory.
Maybe the ghost.
The ghost.
Probably.
We also found an additional 906 names of dead people in Southern California who are still registered to vote. No votes were attributed to their names, but some are still receiving vote-by-mail ballots like this one for Mary Ellen Parker. It came to her house in Pasadena, even though she died 2 years ago.
She should not be getting a mail-in ballot.
Her cousin Steve now lives in the same house.
We get lots of things with Mary Ellen's name on it. We expect it from dry cleaners and we expect it from insurance agents. We don't expect it from the County of Los Angeles.
We asked the county registrar's office here in Norwalk how it could happen. They researched it and found that all the votes were cast at the polls, and they claim all were in error. That live voters listed above or below the dead voters line actually signed on the dead voters line, and they say they compared signatures to prove it. But when we asked for proof, they couldn't provide signature cards for 5 voters. We reached out repeatedly to LA County Registrar Dean Logan for an interview about our findings, but he didn't respond to our requests, although he did have time to tweet out a picture with Stevie Wonder after he voted. You have time to tweet a picture with Stevie Wonder voting. I thought maybe you'd have time to give me a call back. So we caught up with Logan at a volunteer event for poll monitors. You didn't have signature cards for 5 of them. So how could you be certain that it was the person below or above that may have signed there?
We did have the rosters, and we can identify that it was not the person that's listed, that you have shown that is deceased. None of those people cast votes.
Ellen Swenson is with True the Vote, a nationwide voter rights group.
I'm sure it's a mix of clerical error, mistakes, like we said, and some fraud. And the fact is, if our lists were cleaner and we are more careful about how we check people in and allow them to vote, then we wouldn't have these questions overhanging us.
But no matter how it happened, it's troubling for loved ones like Kim Holmes.
Either way, she's not here. It wasn't her vote.
Now, there's no way to tell from the data who these people voted for. That's confidential. And after we shared the names with the registrar's office, these so-called dead voters no longer registered. Pat and Paul, back to you.
That's good to hear a day before Election Day.
Yes.
Whoever they voted for, they must have very strong feelings about them.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you.